Hey everyone, welcome back to another battle report. This time it's some Canadians versus my Soviet Raiders. So this one is using, I've been talking about the variant platoons and stuff. I've been planning them for a while, so this is a battle report that I realized I never actually took all the photos, created everything, never put together a report. So you'll see some of that where one of my usual opponents, you'll see his stuff isn't painted or using some counts as, so that's the reason his stuff's all painted up at this point. But I did want to highlight, the variant platoon stuff. So this case, it's a Soviet Raiders or light infantry. So basically everything had to be needed a certain amount of four deployers, and all the weapons had to be man packed. We were playing 750 points, and the mission was maximum attrition. So my platoon, so I had the LT, his buddy, terrors, special forces trying them out, and then again the two light mortars to account for the some portable firepower. Then his section is at the time his standard force. The other on this, because of the points we played it at a 4x4 table, you'll see all the ruins were hardcover, and the woods are light, and then like I mentioned in the intro there, or the cover thing, this is a raider force, so everything, no vehicles or anything like that, and everything had to be, basically easily carried on foot, was at least the design behind the list. So the board layout, so like I said, 4x4, maximum attrition, so I'll be set up over here, he's over here, on to turn one. So yeah, just he's bringing in his robots and stuff, and yep, and then me, like I said, the special forces, they're coming in, mortar, he's running in. Yeah, and so the idea was, I was trying to run up on each flank, using the special forces, their ability to recycle dice to A, get him in position, and B, kind of pull out some of his dice, being able to activate them, move them up, and just draw those dice out. On the right flank, veteran squad, mortar, and LT. So we attempted to lay down fire and stuff, but light mortars are just very short range and probably not really worth it, except in like a Japanese list where you can just get it as part of your normal squad. So his setup, so his regular infantry, and then the robots are just kind of, everybody's hanging out behind cover. Grenadiers are coming in, so yeah, everything, he knows my range and stuff, so he's got me on range, so he's just going to sit back and wait until he decides to strike. Yep, I'm just bringing in troops onto two. So yeah, I'm break cover, so I am in light cover. You see him moving into cover, so trying to engage in a little bit of a firefight here, using the mortars to drop some shots. I moved that one up a little bit further. I probably should have. Yeah, and then he's just doing likewise, making use of cover. At this point, looking at moving, things aren't going so well here, so you see a whole bunch of the Guardian and all the heavies, so the special forces say, yeah, this is silly. So we decide to run over this way, and now at this point, being maximum attrition, I'm thinking I'm going to slide up this way and try to hammer through a unit or two here, and then kind of pull back with a dice lead. On to three. So you see my terrors, moving up, trying to put down shots. That's kind of my plan, come up this way. Yep. And then SMG squad, so I jump them back behind the ruins or cover. And my thought being is, if the Guardian comes through or something like that to counter, I can move them up or move them into terrain, fire the Panzerfaust or SMGs at anybody that tries to easily counter my force here. And yep, that was the plan, at least for keeping them there. And so he sees me moving this way, drops down his artillery observer barrage. So again, I'm just having to the good thing with the light mortars is they can move and shoot. The downside is when you're, basically they take up a mortar slot. So I could have had a two medium mortars or something in here and actually done some damage. And surprisingly, so he keeps my light mortar just keeps getting fired at everything. And yeah, no, he's sticking around. So good on him. You see me moving up my special forces here, so the plan is to sneak up and then, we're going to try to pounce on one of these. Yep. You see him moving his guard in, so he's aware of the Panzerfaust here, so he's not as aggressive, knowing that I could, move up 6 and then probably have a foot of a range. So he's being a little cautious to make sure he doesn't come up. In the meantime, he still has a medium machine gun and heavy machine gun, so he's laying down pins. And finally, old light mortar, after taking 2 or 3 rounds of shooting the grenadiers and him, he finally succumbs to the fire, which it worked. Yep. So here I am breaking cover, or he moves around to hit me either way. So move up, and yep, the plan is to the background, at least with my my unit here, is that the Soviets don't have any rift tech of their own, so they're using the cattle prod 9000 here to zap any rift tech stuff, and they're all geared up to capture. So you got the tools and everything to capture the rift tech to bring back. So that's kind of how I've been using them in my own little head backgrounds. I'm sure they do that in the official background, but at least with this squad, that's so. Obviously, anytime I see a target like this jump out, whether it's the best choice, I usually try to just kind of stick with what's going on background-wise in my head. So, yeah, so he's moving. We're kind of cat and mouse dancing here, so I keep moving them up in the terrain so they're out of line of sight. Now, granted, their SMGs are wasted, but I am keeping get in position to counter the Guardian. On to 4. So, thankfully that wonderful 1 popped up. So I bring that all the way back here, and yep. So artillery comes in. I'm feeling pretty good at this point. You see, there's a lack of robots here, so they were able to do their job. Jumped in, beat them up, and grabbed whatever circuitry they could and took off. And then with the mortar coming down, I'm thinking, okay, they're coming in. Tears are coming in. So I'm feeling pretty good. Okay, here's the artillery observer. There's a lieutenant back here. So I'm thinking, okay, I can snatch up a handful of these units here. They got pins sprinkled everywhere. So I'm feeling pretty good. And then grenadiers pop out, and yeah, light into it. But thankfully, they stick around. So while I might not be killing anything, I'm dying slowly. So his Guardian comes out. Like I said, this is painted at this point. I hopped in the Wayback Machine for this battle report, and so went to it before he had painted, but it's painted up now and it's real nice. So it comes out to finish the job, and yeah, I think he cooks them up pretty good. I'm just mentally gonna say they just ran away with their loot, but game-wise, they were, cooked. So now we're here, got the tears doing their thing, but now it's kind of a standoff. The pins, as you can see, most of them are gone now. So it didn't have really nearly as big of an impact as I needed it to. And on to 5. So with the Panzerfaust and everything over there, he decides to counter. He just turns over here, stomps over, and cooks them off. So yeah, they're gone. And then with that threat, that was one of my few counters to the Guardian here. So he promptly, you can see from the pins, starts stacking them on here to counter, take care of its threat, so he can just run through it at this point and do what he wants. So the commandos come up, and promptly we have a SMG firefight, and yeah, I did nothing. Either that or they fired at something else. But either way, um, yeah, they pretty much got massacred. And at that point, yeah, we called it. It was a Canadian win. I think it was on time, but he was already. I think he pulled the next dice and was ready to finish off the squad. So we just called it there. And at the time, it's he killed only 3 units, but likely it'd probably been 4 or 5 if we finished out that last turn. I killed 1 unit, and yeah, so we won 6-2. Like I said, overall it was a great game. Obviously, there's a little bit of unpainted stuff in this one, but I thought it was worth it to have because it's when he was getting started and all this. So obviously you work with what you got, and but more it was kind of going in line with the variant platoon stuff I was looking at. So I've been tinkering with whether there's official platoon selector additional ones, having my own. At this point I'll probably keep with kind of what I have, and also continue on modeling them as best I can after some of the bolt action ones. They're different theater books there. But all in all, it was a real fun game. Like I said, it was from quite a while ago, but it was still a good time. And thanks for watching.